Hey FLL students, my name is Allison and I'm a student on First Robotics Team 1736, Robot Casserole. Today I'm going to be showing you 17 presentation tips. My first tip for you is don't talk too fast or too slow. Just talk at a natural and steady pace, like you would to a friend or family member. My second tip is while talking, be loud. Sometimes it seems to you like you're being loud while you're presenting, but then to those that you're presenting to, they still can't hear you. So my advice to you would be talk as loud as you think is loud, and then be just a little bit louder than that, and then you should be just right. Tip number 3 is use your voice to emphasize important words. So if my presentation was about voices and I was reading this sentence, I would say, use your voice to emphasize important words, or use your voice to emphasize important words. So I would just be making that word a little bit more, I would make it stand out just a little bit more than all the other words, so that the judges or my audience knows that that is important and that they should be listening. My fourth tip is use your tone of voice to show your emotions. So if you're super excited about your topic that you're presenting about, sound super excited. Or if you're talking about like an endangered species and that kind of makes you sad, then you can make your voice a little sadder like this, so that the judges know how you feel about that. My fifth tip for you is while talking, try not to use nervous filler words like or or if you don't know how to end your sentence, sometimes people go, so, yeah. I think sometimes we forget that we use these words, and even I have. And the people that I'm presenting to have had to be like, oh, Allison, you're kind of saying a lot, and I'll be like, what? Really? I didn't know. Thanks for telling me. And then when I present, I'll be more careful not to use those words. And even now, I'm just kind of listening to the things I'm saying while I'm talking to you guys, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm actually using and sometimes. So it just makes your presentation sound more professional and more well thought out if you don't use words like or. My sixth tip is be familiar with your part, and it's okay to even have it memorized, but don't depend so much on like a script or every single word that you have memorized. Be able to be kind of natural about what you're talking about, be able to improvise so that it doesn't sound robotic. I know that we love robots here, but we don't want to sound like robots. Number 7, know your topic well enough that if you forget what to say, you'll be able to talk about it naturally and improvise. And what that means is if you kind of like you forget what's next, or you trip on a word, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes it like if you forget what the next word is, it kind of messes up like the whole rest of your part because you get all flustered. But if you know your topic, you can just keep talking because you know enough about the topic that even if you don't know what's next, you can just say something else and it'll still sound good. Number 8, present on a topic that you are knowledgeable or passionate about. Because when we are knowledgeable or passionate about a topic, we're more comfortable talking about it. It's like when you come home from school and tell your mom something that was really cool. You can just keep talking and talking and talking because you're passionate about it and you're also knowledgeable about it. So when we're passionate and knowledgeable about our topics, we're more comfortable, and that makes the presentation come out better as a whole. Number 9, be engaging with your audience, whether that means using like a visual aid. When I was in FLL for my team's project presentation, we actually sung during it. And I think that that was really good to keep our audience focused because it was different, you know? It's kind of hard not to listen when people are singing. You're like, oh, that's cool. So whether that means like posters or pictures or even singing, be engaging with your audience. Number 10, have a good attitude. Do your best and have fun. At first, we're all about gracious professionalism, and that means having a good attitude with your judges, That means having a good attitude with your teammates and your coaches and mentors. That means having a good attitude with even the teams that you're competing against. So be friendly and be kind and push others to be their best. And have fun. Number 11, practice. And when you practice, practice in front of a wide range of people. So if you can, practice in front of family members, practice in front of friends, practice in front of teammates, practice in front of coaches, practice in front of as many people as you can. That way, when it's time to practice in front of the judges, you can say to yourself, hey, last night I practiced in front of my whole team. Or like, hey, yesterday I practiced in front of my whole class. And you can be like, no, I got this. I've practiced in front of a lot of people before. What's a couple of judges? I can do this. It'll just help build your confidence and make you more comfortable. Number 12, when you practice for people, ask them what you can do to improve. Sometimes it's hard for us while we are presenting to pay attention to what could be better. But if you're watching something present, you can be like, hey, if they did it this way, it would actually be so much better. So when you ask the people that you're presenting for advice, they usually will have something really good to say. And then you can use that advice to make the presentation better. Number 13, smile at the judges when you present. So they know that you're nice and they'll want to hear what you have to say. Number 14, maintain good eye contact with the judges while you talk. It'll just make you seem more professional. And just overall, eye contact is just a really good life skill to have. And it helps you to connect with your audience. So always have good eye contact. But number 15, I know that that's hard for some people. So if you're still younger and you're still learning to present and what making good eye contact means and just how to do that without it being like too awkward or weird, you can always just like look above the judges' heads, like just barely over them, just barely past them. Sometimes that helps if you're a little bit too nervous to make eye contact with the judges. But whether you are making eye contact or just kind of looking right past their heads, make sure that you're not looking at the floor or just around the room. Make sure that you're looking towards where the judges are looking. And also, while you're looking at the judges, don't just look at one. Kind of go between them. Like if you're talking to a group of friends, you look at one friend, then kind of look at another, and you look at another. It's the same with the judges. If you're making eye contact or just kind of looking past them, make sure you move from one to the other. Just kind of naturally scan between them. That just makes it look better. So, yeah. Number 16, stay still while you present. No rocking your feet and or body. Don't fidget your arms or legs. Sometimes this is a hard one for me, but we just have to kind of take the advice of the people that are watching you. If they're like, hey, you're kind of rocking your body, be like, oh, thanks. And then be careful to just kind of be still. You can like fold your hands in front of you or behind you, and then just make sure you put your feet in one spot and you just kind of try and keep your body still the best you can. It's very tempting to kind of move, especially if you're nervous, but just do your best to be still. And number 17, this might seem kind of silly, but dress up. Dressing up will help you to be more confident, because when we feel good about ourselves, and so by dressing up, I really just mean wear something that you feel confident in, something that you feel comfortable in. Because when we're comfortable and confident, then we're going to seem comfortable and confident, and our body language will show that we are comfortable and confident. So then when you're talking, you'll be comfortable and confident. So, yeah, it might seem like a little thing, but it really does a lot. So your guys' assignment is to choose a topic. The next slide will have a topic, kind of a list of topics that you can choose from. Number 2, compose a 3 to 5 minute presentation on your topic. Number 3, practice your composed presentation. And number 4, present for your family. Some topic options are a recent or memorable family trip, so you can talk about where you went, what you did there, why you liked it, just generally stuff like that. Number 2, your favorite animal, so you can describe the animal, why the animal is your favorite, where you met that animal, where you've seen that animal, and you can talk about like where that animal is from. Number 3, your favorite food. So you can talk about why that food is your favorite. You can talk about what country that food is from. You can even tell your audience about the recipe for that food. Number 4, you can talk about a good book or movie, but it would be a little bit different from a book or movie report because you would talk about why you like that movie, where you first heard about it or who introduced you to it, stuff like that. Number 5, your favorite hobby. So you can talk about what your favorite hobby is. You can describe how it's done, where you do it, who you do it with, or anything else that kind of pertains to these topics. You can choose a different topic if you'd like, but I just thought these were some good ideas that you guys might enjoy. So, you guys, happy presenting and good luck. This presentation has been brought to you by Robot Casserole, First Robotics Competition Team 1736.